You finished the work we started, Arnold.
I'm so proud of you, son.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the craziest conspiracies from animated programs that will make you freak.
That's it! I wish I was super smart!
Number 75, How Dr. Draken Got His Blue Skin, Kim Possible. What's evil, genius, and blue all over? The answer is, of course, Dr. Draken, sworn nemesis of Kim Possible herself. But despite her brains, there's one thing Kim never solved about Draken: how he got his blue skin. Back in the day, the mad scientist was friends with Kim's dad in college, before an embarrassing falling out put Draken on his path to villainy.
Go on, laugh away, but one day my genius will be recognized. BB will be perfect, and I will be the one laughing.
Next we saw him, he was glowing blue. What if, unable to bear the humiliation, Draken conducted an unsafe experiment to try and regain his colleagues' respect?
I am not the man you knew in college, Possible.
Still can't get a date though, I bet.
Why is it every Possible I capture feels the need to give me lip?
The results could be catastrophic or colorful. Draken has plenty of reason to hate the Possible family, and this definitely wouldn't help their case.
He's the guy from college? My arch foe.
Well, he didn't used to be blue, I can tell you that much.
No, but I was blue on the inside.
Number 74, The All-Knowing Fong, Reboot. Restarts and evolutions are coded into the mainframe of this show. After all, it literally takes place inside a computer. Updates are bound to happen. But amidst all the character reboots and strange patches, there's one individual who keeps making reference to how things used to be. Looking at you, Fong.
It is not quite that simple, Enzo. Hexadecimal has transfinite power limits.
Huh?
As the mainframe's leader, it makes sense he'd be the only one to retain knowledge of all past system-wide reboots.
I seek the Codemaster, Talon. There is no one in mainframe with that name.
That would also explain why he constantly speaks in riddles. Not only is he holding a lot of sensitive info, but all those updates would confuse anyone.
You should keep your friends close and your enemies even closer.
Number 73, Where Poppy Boulevard's money came from, the Proud family. Ever wonder where the Boulevardes family got all their generational wealth? Well, buckle up, because there's a chance it's not much to be proud of. La Cienega's grandpa speaks in a villainous cadence, has a knack for sneaking around, and is clearly well off.
Yo conozco la carita triste de una niña con ojitos bellos. Quien recibirá una hermosa sorpresa.
Look, all we're saying is there's a non-zero chance Poppy had a wild career back in his heyday. Maybe something to do with spy work, perhaps?
Desconfiado por los chicos, pero amado por las chicas, todas menos una.
Given how off-kilter he is, something tells us it wasn't a normal day job. Sugar Mama better watch herself. If even part of this is true, you really don't want to be on Poppy's bad side.
Oh no! Ayúdame, Sugar Mama! Sugar Mama!
Number 72. Skipper is a war veteran, the penguins of Madagascar. For the most part, the smile and wave birds of the Central Park Zoo fall into the traditional character archetypes. You have Private the naive rookie, Kowalski the brains, Rico the wild card, and Skipper the war veteran. Yeah, when you think about it, Skipper's behavior is a spitting portrayal of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Do you ever see any penguins running free around New York City? Of course not. We don't belong here. It's just not natural. This is all some kind of whacked-out conspiracy.
He's frequently paranoid, refers to everything as missions, and commands his friends like they're a squad on the battlefield.
Are you questioning my leadership, Private?
No, sir.
Too bad. Because I respect a soldier with some moxie.
Really? Then I really think we should.
Whoa! Dial back the moxie, sassmouth.
While it's often played for laughs, the reality of Skipper's life pre-Penguins is no funny matter. If anything, it makes you wonder if the classic Smile and Wave Boys is nothing more than a coping mechanism.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Number 71. The Avatar state drains your life. Avatar: The Last Airbender. 100 years in an iceberg is bound to drop anyone's life expectancy. But based on the legend of Korra, Aang didn't just die young. He died surprisingly young.
When we hit our lowest point, we are open to the greatest change.
Katara, Zuko, and Toph outlived them by almost 20 years. While the century-long ice snap couldn't have helped, a lot of supplementary materials puts the blame on the fact that Aang was in the Avatar state all the time.
It's his Avatar spirit. He must have triggered it. I'm gonna try and calm him down.
Connecting with his past selves gave him immense power, but at the cost of his own livelihood. When you think about it, it makes sense that such a trump card would come at a high price.
I don't know what to say. How could they do that to me? They wanted to take away everything I knew and everyone I loved!
Whoa, hot centers.
I'm sorry I got so mad.
Number 70, the Omnitrix is a weapon of destruction, not peace. Ben 10. Taking the word of its creator Azimuth, the Omnitrix was built as a way to foster intergalactic peace by literally putting you in someone else's shoes.
Get off me! Get off! Get off!
That sounds nice and all on paper, but why then is it so dang hard to remove? Ben never managed to pry the thing off, with some villains even saying they'd have to amputate his whole arm. If Azimuth really wanted the Omnitrix to help others, then wouldn't he want as many people to wear it as possible?
I didn't create a weapon. All of you did. I created the ultimate device for understanding all the beings of the universe.
Considering how difficult it is to take off, we'd wager this wristwatch was made for more unfriendly methods, probably involving interplanetary war.
And it looks like I'm new and improved. This is so cool that I'm so cool.
Number 69. Bluey wasn't the healer's first pregnancy. Bluey. In the season 2 episode The Show, Bluey and Bingo, doing what Bluey and Bingo do best, put on a charming skit for the healer parents.
Welcome to the show. Bingo, quick, this side.
To stimulate pregnancy, Bingo stuffs a balloon under her shirt until pop. It's a joke that goes by in a few moments.
Okay, let's keep this moving.
So then they...
But if you look closely, Chili seems a bit spooked by the sight. What's more, Bandit reaches for her paw with a look of concern. The implication is fairly clear, and while the show never directly addresses it, knowing what the healers may have been through adds a whole new context to how they parent Bluey. Number 68, it's all a coat, Peppa Pig. Okay, this sounds crazy, but hear us out. Isn't it strange how almost none of the adults go by their names? Almost as if they'd had to shed their identity.
Sorry, Madam Gazelle.
Never mind, you're just in time.
Peppa Pig also takes place in an isolated town surrounded by tall hills. It's not a place that encourages leaving, don't you think? Then there's Miss Rabbit, the strange resident of the city who seems to be and work everywhere simultaneously, a feat that no one questions.
Shall we show him what my helicopter can do?
Yes!
It can go straight up. Whoa!
What if she's their handler and appears all over town because she's specifically tasked with keeping an eye on the family? It sounds bizarre, but stranger things have been true.
Smoothies! Get your fruit smoothies here!
Number 67. The villains are repressed fears of growing up, codenamed Kids Next Door. A wacky, over-the-top war against grown-ups sounds like an excellent idea for a children's show, and it is. Kids Next Door rocks, but underneath its colorful concept, there's the nagging reality that you can't actually fight time.
Dr. Sigmund Teeth at your service. And you kids look like you'd love a complimentary checkup. There's nothing like a good teeth cleaning.
It makes you wonder whether the villains are real or if they're just repressed manifestations of aging. After all, most of the antagonists are themed around normal adulting concepts like eating your vegetables, going to the dentist, or growing old with your hundreds of cats.
This house is so lonely.
Okay, maybe not that one. Either way, knowing this is a losing battle makes you appreciate each of Sector V's adventures.
Good thing I brought some nice, healthy vegetables!
Number 66, Timeteen and Shenanigans, Shaolin Showdown. In 2006, the original run of Shaolin Showdown ended with main character Omi traveling to the future, saving the world, and returning to his own dimension to bask in the glory. At least as we're led to believe.
I'm not quite sure what just happened, but I know I'll never forget it.
Did what happened really happen?
I want to go home!
Several years later, the sequel series Shaolin Chronicles debuted with a lot of minor inconsistencies. All of the Shingon Wu were renamed, and characters had very spotty memories of the previous show. While you can attribute this to behind-the-scenes issues, fans have theorized an in-universe explanation. Omi actually returned to an alternate universe at the end of Shaolin Showdown.
What's going on?
My guess?
Two parallel universes running into each other in a cosmic timeline continuum pileup.
That's why everything is ever so slightly off. So much for a happy ending, right? Number 65, Teen Titans Go is a villain's heinous plan. Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. After saving the world more times than we can count, Robin and the rest of the Titans retire their action-packed serial storytelling for bright colors and potty humor, also known as Teen Titans Go.
So did we level up? I don't feel any different.
The tone between the shows is so different, they're essentially two different products that happen to share the same name. However, the original Titans faced a lot of crazy sadistic villains in their time. We wouldn't put it past any of them to trap the heroes in a bubbly alternate universe.
Very well, Teen Titans. Face your challenges. The Teen Titans!
In fact, it sounds exactly like Mad Mod's MO. If he's to blame, he has over a decade of Teen Titans Go to answer for.
There's only one thing for it. You'll have to repeat the entire lesson!
Number 64, reality TV that's a bit too real, Total Drama. Don't let the format and Jeff Probst look-alike fool you. This isn't Survivor. It's Squid Games.
They'll compete in challenges against each other, then have to face the judgment of their fellow campers.
Despite being set up with your classic tribes and vote outs, Total Drama challenges range from cruel to obscene to downright deadly. For every talent show and game of dodgeball, you also have jumps into shark-infested waters and sprints through minefields.
Hey, Chris, man! Something there right down here!
Well, that seems safe enough.
So, we hear you asking, why would anyone in their right mind sign up for this show? Clearly, the campers need cash, badly. This isn't the case of people wanting some extra savings. These campers are here to win the money, or die trying. Number 63, it's a simulation, The Amazing World of Gumball. The words wacky, absurd, and genre-bending get thrown around a lot when discussing The Amazing World of Gumball. So much so, it makes you wonder if this world is actually real at all.
There's nobody driving the car.
Hold on, I'm gonna take the wheel. No, you can't. You have to keep your seatbelt on. Why? Because otherwise...
Fast relief from headache.
Fair point.
Let's lay out the facts here. Characters and conflicts seem to reset between episodes. The world is ridiculously over the top. The characters break the fourth wall, and oh yeah, that one time the world literally glitched out and had to be rebooted.
We assure you we are working on the problem, so please, bear with us while we try to...
Wait, then why is it affecting the...
What about Gumball's strange alter ego Zack? Seems oddly specific, right? There's so many strange happenings in Elmore that, at this point, the whole thing being a strange simulation makes the most sense.
But who exactly is this Zack? I thought it'd be like Gumball, but with a shorter name.
No! Gumball's a loser. Zack is the man.
Number 62, trauma, siblings, and missing parents, Max and Ruby. Max and Ruby, Ruby and Max. In the entire show, it's basically just them two, living life and solving conflicts. Well, actually, it's mainly just Ruby, since her brother doesn't speak.
Okay, Max. You can take your Rescue Ranger emergency ambulance and your ear splitter space rocket over to Louise's.
Altogether, it's stark just how empty their world feels. Since their parents very rarely appear, you can't help but wonder if they're allowed to be in the picture at all. Children can shut down in response to trauma, such as being torn away from a loved one, for example. So it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that Max is in the same boat.
Max? Max! No!
It's a good thing the show is usually warm and cuddly, because this theory is downright depressing.
Stand back, Max. Looking under beds is a big sister's job.
Number 61, Tadashi is here. Literally, Big Hero 6. Heads up, you're going to want a box of tissue for this one. As anyone who's seen Big Hero 6 knows, Tadashi Hamada's personal healthcare companion is programmed to be the ultimate caregiver.
I cannot deactivate until you say you are satisfied with your care.
Fine. I'm satisfied with my...
So when Baymax creator died and left behind a grieving young brother, the robot gave the kid exactly what he needed, Tadashi's wisdom.
Hello, I am Baymax, your personal healthcare companion.
Hey, Baymax, I didn't know you were still active.
Think about it. Baymax knows everything there is to know about overcoming grief and has videos of Tadashi saved to his hard drive. In order to be the ultimate healthcare companion for Hiro, Baymax couldn't just be a doctor. He had to become a brother. Now, where are those tissues we asked about?
Hello, Hiro.
Number 60, Recess is a kid's prison. Recess. At 3rd Street School, slides are roads, swing sets are day jobs, and basketball courts are the suburbs. Recess makes it clear that this half-hour break during the school day is a metaphor for real life.
Children of the playground! Children of the playground! Report to the jungle gym for today's activity! And welcome to the first recess of the rest of your life.
But some fans think it goes a step further. This isn't a school at all. It's a prison. Looking at how things play out, the kids are often under the tyranny of various adult figures, almost as though they're the wardens of a penitentiary.
This isn't fair! My friends and me have been scrubbing and cleaning for days, and we haven't been given a chance to apologize or explain or—
Tell it to the judge at tomorrow's hearing.
Hearing? Who's the judge?
Me!
All the hijinks, smuggles, trades, games, and adventures take on a whole new meaning when they happen inside a juvenile detention center. While it's all a metaphor, it does make you think.
Excuse my friend here, he's been out sick. And here's a little something for you.
Number 59, Scrooge is cursed. For real. DuckTales. We know. The idea of a character being cursed is pretty standard fare for crackpot theories. But in this case, there's no gray area about it.
Be forewarned! Build your castle here, Silas McDuck, and it will be forever cursed!
The McDuck family has already been cursed once for hoarding treasure. And while Scrooge lifted that one, who's to say his stingy behavior couldn't have triggered another lifelong consequence? Scrooge seems to live forever, survive any kind of wound, and is never quite content with what he has. It seems to us like he's battling his own kind of demons. And whether it's spiritual or not, it does make you feel for the old duck.
Get them, hound!
Number 58, Arnold's true parentage. Hey Arnold. Since Arnold's parents are off on an expedition, he spends the series growing up under his grandparents. Or at least the people we're told are his grandparents. There's a distinct lack of family photos in the Arnold household, and what's more, Phil and Gertie are extremely eccentric, way more so than either their kids or Arnold.
My parents were here. Well, sort of. And it seemed like they were going to stay.
But then they left on another mission. Oh, I'm sorry, Arnold. I miss them too. But I'm glad you get to see them, even if it's only in a dream.
Speaking of him, where did his odd head shape come from? Neither grandparents nor Arnold's supposed parents look anything like him.
Move it, football head!
All we're saying is this family tree doesn't exactly add up. And given how eclectic Gertie and Phil can be, there's really no telling what happened here.
Hey, crazy lady! Get out of my stair truck!
Or Palmer's knee! Or Borneo's disease!
Number 57, Bing Bong is from Monsters, Inc., Inside Out and Monsters, Inc. Deep in the recesses of Riley's memory, one of her oldest imaginary friends sits, waiting to make her laugh again. Of course, we're talking about Bing Bong.
Who's your friend who likes to play?
Bing bong, bing bong!
His rocket makes you yell hooray! Bing bong, bing bong!
Pixar really knows how to make lovable monsters, huh? Just like in Monsters, Inc. Now that we think about it, Bing Bong could easily fit in among Mike and Sully. Remember the ending of the movie? The monsters switched to using laughter for power instead of screams.
You know, only somebody with perfect comedic timing could produce this much energy in one shot.
If you believe all the Pixar movies share one universe, then there's a strong likelihood Bing Bong wasn't just an imaginary friend. He was the friendly monster under her bed.
Take her to the moon for me, okay?
Number 56, Moana died and came back to life. Moana. Ready to save the ocean and her island, this Disney princess embarks out onto the sea and promptly crashes under some rough waves. It's a miracle she washed ashore. Almost too much of a miracle if you ask us. Some die-hard Disney theorists think that she may have actually perished on this voyage, with the rest of the film taking place on a spiritual plane. How else would she interact with all those gods, you know?
So,
not seeing an entrance.
Yes, because it only appears after a human sacrifice.
Then at the end, Tafiti rewards Moana for saving her by restoring the Voyager's life. All's well that ends well. But it does add a bit more weight to her sailing adventures, that's for sure.
You could come with us, you know. My people are going to need a master wayfinder.
They already have one.
Number 55, daydreaming or mental illness. Doug. Every kid daydreams, but few do it quite as realistically as Doug. When he dives into his fantastical visions, they more often than not lead him into dangerous situations.
It looked like Patty was in serious trouble. I wonder how Quail Man would handle this.
This is more than a kid playing make-believe. It's basically sleepwalking, or if you believe some crazy conspiracies, schizophrenia. It's a really dark spin on what's supposed to be a casual kid's cartoon.
It's time for me to unleash the powers of the quail.
But seriously, what other child gets so wrapped up into their own thoughts, they wander straight into traffic? Even if Doug isn't schizophrenic, he needs some kind of failsafe, or he may end up daydreaming permanently.
It's incredible! I tell you, this proves once again that it really isn't over till the fat lady sings, and this lady is singing victory for Doug Funny.
Number 54, Caillou is terminally ill. Caillou. Yes, this is one of those the kids show is actually really dark theories, but truly we think Caillou is about more than growing up. For one, the show features a unique artistic flair that occasionally blurs the edges of the screen, implying that what we're seeing isn't the present day, but a memory.
It all happened when Caillou was just 3 years old.
Add that in with the narrator, and it seems like the show is remembering Caillou, not following him. Just look at the kid. How many other 4-year-olds are completely bald?
Daddy, try the cookies,
Altogether, it makes you wonder if Caillou had a terminal illness, and the show is his parents reminiscing about all his adventures.
So many things to do, each day is something new. I'll share them with you, I'm Caillou.
Number 53, Gaston murdered Bambi's mother, Bambi and Beauty and the Beast. The Disney canon is as vast and varied as they come, but among all the different franchises, one of the most traumatizing moments came in the death of Bambi's poor, defenseless mother.
Keep running!
It would take someone truly despicable to do such a thing, and well, no one slick as Gaston. The Beauty and the Beast villain is a known hunter. Just look at all the heads on his quarry. Given his utter narcissism and high social standing, it's not too out there to think he went on a hunting trip abroad and ended up claiming the life of Bambi's mom.
Do you know who that little wife will be?
Let me think.
You, Belle.
Gaston, I'm speechless. I really don't know what to say.
Say you'll marry me.
Although, to be fair, it's not like we need any more reason to hate Gaston.
And I've got my sights set on that one.
The inventor's daughter?
She's the one. The lucky girl I'm going to marry.
Number 52, Fiona the Cannibal, Shrek. Most of us know the story of Shrek by heart. Fiona, the fair princess, spent years in a tower waiting for the charming knight who would slay the dragon and save her. So she waited, and waited, and waited. It took years for Shrek to find her, far longer than she could have packed for her. So what did Fiona eat?
Okay, what do you propose we do?
Well, there was one steady source of nutrients, the bodies of all the knights who failed to get past the dragon.
I sure as heck ain't no coward, I know that.
Since Fiona turned into an org at night, there's a possibility she was able to make the tough choices in order to survive. Fingers crossed she outgrew that diet once Shrek rescued her.
You've had a lot of time to plan this, haven't you?
Number 51, Why Flash Speeds, Zootopia. Look, we've all seen Flash work at the DMV. He doesn't exactly live up to his name.
What?
Hang in there.
Can I do?
Well, I was hoping you could run a play
for you.
It also sets up one of Zootopia's best jokes when it's revealed the speed demon on the road is none other than everyone's favorite slow-moving sloth. But have you ever stopped to think about why Flash burns so much rubber? Remember, he's a sloth. Since he has such a slow reaction time, he can't exactly slam on the brakes very easily. As a result, once Flash starts accelerating, he won't be stopping anytime soon. Judy really should let him off with a warning. If not, it's pure sloth discrimination.
Flash, 100-yard dash.
Nick.
Number 50, Bikini Bottom is a nuclear test site. SpongeBob SquarePants. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Apparently the remnants of a radioactive testing operation. While Bikini Bottom doesn't seem like a particularly dangerous place to live, it notably shares its name with Bikini Atoll, aka the United States nuclear test site after World War II.
Nuclear contamination has made this group of islands permanently uninhabitable.
The radiation's effects on the environment would explain a lot of the peculiarities about the show, like how a sponge learned to talk.
So, what's your name?
Shandy. So, what do y'all call yourself?
Or how a school of fish managed to create their own society. The answers are all in the history books, but that doesn't make them any easier to stomach.
Where have I seen this before?
Number 49, Bender's Reprogramming, Futurama. These days, everyone's favorite sociopathic robot is known for its vulgar and prejudicial outbursts. So it's odd to learn that wasn't always the case.
Listen, buddy, I'm in a hurry here. Let's try for a twofer.
Before Bender got, well, bent out of shape, he was a measly steel worker contemplating ending it all. But after a quick pep talk from Fry and a shock from a stray wire, his personality underwent a complete 180.
Come on, Bender. It's up to you to make your own decisions in life. That's what separates people and robots from animals. And animal robots.
As nice as Fry's words were, there's a much better chance the vote of electricity rewired some of Bender's code. It completely reframes not just the pilot, but the entirety of Bender and Fry's friendship. Shocking, isn't it?
This is quite a shock. On the other hand, it's not surprising in the least.
Number 48, Casper is the ghost of Richie Rich. Casper the Friendly Ghost franchise and Richie Rich franchise. Imagine a young kid with a cheerful smile and a penchant for well-meaning antics.
Morning. Oh, no, please don't scream. I promise I won't hurt you. I'm a ghost. Yes, I admit it, but I'm a friendly ghost. You have to trust me.
We could be describing either Casper the Ghost or Richie Rich. One look at them side by side is enough to prove there's more than a passing resemblance. What's more, they're both characters published by Harvey Comics. So, as morbid as it is to say, there's a possibility that Casper and Richie Rich are the same person, just at very different stages of life, if you catch our drift. You don't have to take our word for it, though.
Ugh, yikes, they smell awful.
Yes, quite true.
Bart and Lisa Simpson believe in the theory, and who are we to say they're wrong?
Well, you know what I think? I think Casper's the ghost of Richie Rich.
Number 47, Donkey is from Pleasure Island, Shrek franchise, and Pinocchio. Despite pulling from all different types of fairy tales, there's one prominent character in Shrek with no clear origin, Donkey. Where did he come from, and how did he learn to talk?
Well, it's no wonder you don't have any friends.
Wow. Only a true friend would be that truly honest.
The explanation is pretty simple when you think about it. He's from Pleasure Island. In Pinocchio, bad kids who visit and misbehave are sold into servitude and turned into, you guessed it, donkeys.
What's going on?
Pinocchio himself also appears in Shrek, and in the very same scene, Donkey's introduced too. Maybe because they're coming from the same tale? If this version of Donkey's origin story is even partly true, it's amazing he's still so cheerful.
We can stay up late, swapping manless stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Number 46, Miss Frizzle's class grew up to be the Planeteers, the Magic School Bus, and Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip.
Full disclosure, there isn't any fancy lore, hidden details, or behind-the-scenes drama to explain this one. The only evidence we have is our eyes, and quite frankly, it's still pretty convincing.
Oh yeah? Prove it. Stop the bus!
Arnold and Wheeler are basically twins. The same goes for Wanda Lee and Guy and D.A. and Linka. Need we mention Carlos and Mati? There's a chance all the similarities are just a coincidence. But it would have to be one gigantic, massive, planet-sized coincidence. Plus, whether intentional or not, it just makes sense that Miss Frizzle's unorthodox teaching style inspired the heroes of tomorrow.
As I always say, class, you're out of this world.
Number 45. Cusco wasn't the first person turned into an animal. The Emperor's new groove. Turning into a llama isn't exactly Cusco's idea of a good time.
My face good, but
my beautiful, beautiful face.
Okay,
I'm an
okay,
stinky
well,
llama.
wait, okay,
Llama face.
But if this crackpot theory has any basis, at least he isn't alone. Think about it. Yzma's got a lot of potions around her off. Who's to say she doesn't have a few spares too? Say, ones that turn her enemies into other kinds of animals?
It's brilliant, 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 I tell you. Genius, I say.
Kuzco's adventures almost prove as much. He seemingly can't understand squirrel talk, but when he finds a bug in a spider's web, he hears it whimper in English clear as day. How could that creature have talked unless he was transformed by Yzma too? Scary stuff. Number 44, breaking the fourth wall. Rick and Morty. Mad scientists or not, you've got to give Rick some credit. He really knows how to make a portal.
Hold on tight, Morty. We gotta get through the opening titles. Opening titles of what?
Because of that, he and Morty have pretty much seen it all, including the other side of the fourth wall. While Rick and Morty is far from the first cartoon to acknowledge the audience, the portal hopping antics make you wonder.
Morty, none of this is real. We're in a previously on spiral. Clear your head. After all that's happened?
What if one of these portals brought them to our dimension, and that's how they know they're on a TV show? It makes about as much sense as everything else in Rick and Morty. That is to say, it's weird, but kind of works in its own strange way.
Did he use a portal? He wishes. He wriggled back to the meta layer through a hole in the fourth wall. Put these on and help me find it.
Number 43, Nemo never existed. Finding Nemo.
Just think in a couple of days, we're gonna be parents.
Yeah. Bring out a box of tissues. This theory is tragedy on top of tragedy. To set the scene, Finding Nemo follows single dad Marlin as he sets out to, well, find Nemo.
I gotta find my son Nemo!
Nemo? Hey, he's that fish, you know, the one we've been talking about, the one that's been fighting the whole ocean.
But what if Nemo was never born? The fatal barracuda attack that opens the film might be just that, completely fatal. From there, Marlin slowly tackles the 5 stages of grief, eventually accepting that he needs to let go of his son, or rather, the memory of him. It adds a dark spin to what is already an incredibly fraught tale. But at least no one can see you cry under the sea.
I don't want to forget.
I'm sorry, Dory, but I do.
Number 42. It's all in Garfield's head. Garfield franchise. Most of the time, Garfield is made up of fun, lighthearted tales involving lasagna, Mondays, and punchlines galore. However, in a particularly traumatizing comic strip, Garfield wakes up in an abandoned building.
You were having a nightmare, Garfield. That's what it was, a nightmare.
John isn't there, and neither is Odie. He's all alone, and he's probably starving. Then, in the blink of an eye, Garfield's family reappears like nothing happened.
Yeah, when the going gets tough, the great ones party.
The strip ends with an ominous quote about the power of one's imagination, potentially implying that everything Garfield has been through was made up. It's so traumatic, it puts the entire Garfield canon into question. Who knew a grumpy orange cat could be so depressing?
Golly, this is without a doubt my all-time crummiest moment.
Number 41, the Disney family tree. Frozen franchise, Tangled franchise, The Little Mermaid, and Tarzan. Buckle up, there's a lot to go over. In Frozen, Flynn and Rapunzel make a cameo attending Elsa's coronation.
For the first time in forever, I'm dreaming of.
What if that was more than a friendly gesture? A theory once apparently confirmed by co-director-writer Jennifer Lee was that Elsa and Anna's parents died at sea going to a wedding, though the sequel discounts that. Still, considering that version of events, it could have been the Tangled couple's nuptials. There's more though. The ship that Anna and Elsa's parents were on, that could be the one Ariel explores at the start of The Little Mermaid.
There it is. Isn't it fantastic?
And since the parents' bodies were never found, rumor has it they washed ashore and gave birth to a baby boy, Tarzan. Talk about being part of your world.
Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world.
Number 40, Dexter's family are cloned. Dexter's laboratory. The most unbelievable part of Dexter's childhood isn't his out-of-this-world experiments. It's that his parents never catch him in the act. Especially considering Dee Dee isn't exactly stealthy.
Okay, thank you, dear. But I want to press the button.
It's all completely far-fetched. In fact, It's so far-fetched that some have begun to wonder if Dexter's parents are actually experiments too. The show's closing theme song alludes to Dee Dee making one of Dexter's inventions go boom.
But Dee Dee blows his experiments to smithereens.
That's a bit specific, don't you think? What if Dee Dee's curiosity cost her family their lives, and blaming himself, Dexter created exact copies of them? He's made clones before, and it would explain why his family is unfazed by just about everything.
Number 39, Wolverine's Yellow Suit, X-Men the Animated Series.
When you think of the cuddliest members of the X-Men, Logan with his adamantium claws probably isn't topping the list. But this one detail completely reframes all of Wolverine's actions.
Still don't know me real well, do you, North Star?
As the comic tidbit explains, when Logan storms into a fight, his classic blue and yellow suit isn't just a bold style choice. He intentionally wears bright colors in order to stand out more on the battlefield. The more focus there is on him, the less of a chance one of his teammates gets hurt.
Nice uniform, pal.
It's a silent bit of character insight that makes you realize, even when he claims otherwise, that Wolverine has always been a team player.
Number 38, Calhoun killed her fiance, Wreck-It Ralph.
For the most part, cybugs become what they eat, literally. However, that leads to a whole lot of grim implications, particularly for Sergeant Calhoun.
It's not her fault. She's programmed with the most tragic backstory ever. The one day she didn't do a perimeter check. Her wedding day.
Her entire character motivation hinges upon the fact that her fiance was devoured by a bug at their wedding. In return, she understandably shot the critter to bits. But if Turbo's future transformation is any indication, being eaten by a cybug isn't fatal. Sure, you grow a few extra legs, but you maintain your own free will. All that points to the idea that Calhoun is the only one responsible for her current single status. No wonder she's full of so much rage.
You die outside your game, you don't regenerate.
Number 37, Frankie is Imaginary, Foster's home for imaginary friends.
Anyone with eyes can tell Frankie and Madame Foster look alike in ways that go far beyond mere familial resemblance. But maybe that was intentional.
Hello? Grandma? What? You're where?
Madame Foster did always wish she was young enough to continue taking care of the home. And lo and behold, Frankie does just that, all the while sporting an outfit extremely reminiscent of her grandmother. They take care of a foster home for imaginary friends, so it's not too out there to assume that Madame Foster lives there too.
I haven't seen an imagination as pure as that since, well, me! Oh, but yeah.
For what it's worth, series creator Craig McCracken has publicly refuted this claim. But the evidence is pretty damning either way. And, you know, the internet knows better than the creator, of course.
Number 36, Kristoff is wearing Sven's dead mom, Frozen.
How did a boy and a reindeer become friends? Some eager Disney fans sought to answer that. But unfortunately, what they found wasn't merry or bright.
Get ready to jump, Sven!
You don't tell him what to do.
Hey!
I do!
As audience learn, Kristoff was raised in the woods by trolls. There would have been slim pickings for fashion, and coats are practically a must-have to protect any child from the cold. Since current day, Kristoff wears a jacket made of reindeer clippings. The natural conclusion is that he and his fixer-upper parents took it from Sven's mother.
Pull us out, Sven.
At the very least, Sven got a new parental figure out of it, but that doesn't make it any less haunting.
Number 35, Comatose Danny, Danny Phantom.
Danny Fenton got his ghostly powers by walking through a malfunctioning portal. Or so he thinks. This hypothesis asks, what if Danny never actually woke up from the accident?
Are you sure about this?
No, but you saw those things, those monsters, ghosts? Those ghosts were attacking our school.
Yes, this is another age-old, it was all a coma theory. But this one actually has some good points behind it. Each of Danny's villains could be interpreted as a figment of his repressed psyche.
I'll never turn into you. Never!
Of course you will. It's only a matter of time.
None more so than his parents, whose quest to capture ghosts could be seen as a metaphor for keeping Danny on life support. Need more convincing? How about the fact that Danny is literally half human, half ghost? In hindsight, it feels a bit on the nose.
Number 34, Black Death, Monsters Inc.
The monsters do most of the actual scaring around here, but the kids' fear is very much mutual. Look no further than Sully himself. Just the mere presence of Boo has him practically showering in disinfectant.
It's coming! It's coming!
It begs the question, what do these burly monsters have to be so afraid of? Well, a popular Reddit theory argues that maybe the monsters entered the wrong kid's room during the bubonic plague. If they unknowingly brought that lethal virus back with them, then it makes sense why monsters are so frightened of interacting with humans again. Although, to be fair, Roz and her team seem pretty well equipped for another breakout.
None of this ever happened, gentlemen. And I don't want to see any paperwork on this.
Number 33, Kim was genetically altered. Kim Possible.
I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me 'cause I'm Kim Possible.
Kim's your basic average girl, or so says the theme song. But we don't know many teenagers who can kick butt like she can. No matter how much training she went through, it's still strange that a young girl could take on genetically modified supervillains. Unless, of course, Kim had been genetically enhanced too. Look at it this way. Both her parents are geniuses. Her younger brothers are already inventors, and she's a secret spy.
I had no idea how major your job is. I mean, it's brain surgery.
There's gotta be something in the water at their house, that's all we're saying. At the very least, Kim's frequent exposure to all of Shigo's energy blasts can't help matters either.
Number 32, Simba causes the drought, The Lion King.
Look, as much as we'd like to blame Scar for Pride Rock's decline, not even he can control the weather. But if this theory is to be believed, Simba can. He sees firsthand that the past kings of Pride Rock take the form of clouds in the sky, aka the rainwater that feeds the valley.
Somebody once told me that the great kings of the past are up there, watching over us.
It perfectly ties into the movie's message about lineage and the circle of life. Since Simba is the rightful heir, the former kings follow him on his journey with Timon and Pumbaa. Later, once Simba returns to Pride Rock to reclaim his crown, the rain follows him. Coincidence? We think not.
Number 31, the Powerpuff Girls are one person, the Powerpuff Girls.
Meet Brenda. She's your typical superhero girl. The only issue? Her brother ridicules her constantly, and eventually it becomes too much to endure. Brenda fractures into 3 different versions of herself: Blossom, who she wants to be, Bubbles, her innocent side, and Buttercup, who represents her mean streak.
Thus the Powerpuff Girls were born!
The older brother becomes Mojo Jojo. That's the gist of this widely circulated Brenda theory, a fan idea so widespread they even gave the rumored girl a name. While Brenda herself hasn't ever appeared in canon, we can't deny that the girls do act like 3 sides of the same coin.
And he's only interested in good and goodness. Good, 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 good.
Maybe they were actually made with sugar, spice, and a brother who wasn't nice.
Number 30, the Cars overthrew mankind. Cars.
There's no tinfoil hats here. Instead, this suspicion came straight from the Cars creative director himself, Jay Ward. While he clarifies that none of his ideas are Pixar approved, he still personally addressed a few long-standing questions about the film. Like, why do the cars have doors if there's no people to use them?
Will you stop that?
Stop what?
That driving backward stuff, it's creeping me out. You're gonna wreck or something.
His answer is pretty cut and dry. They were for humans. But one day, the cars didn't need people anymore, so they got rid of them. Ward likened it to the current evolution of real-life self-driving vehicles. If they ever gain sentience, we may be looking at an all-too-real live-action remake of Cars.
40 years ago, that interstate down there didn't exist.
Really?
Yeah. Back then, cars came across the country a whole different way.
Number 29. All the Simpsons are geniuses. The Simpsons. It's no small secret that this family is better known for their hijinks than their brains. But as much as it may pain Lisa to admit, she isn't the only bright member of The Simpsons. In fact, she may not even be the smartest. An episode in season 12 confirms that. Were it not for a crown in Homer's brain, he'd be a bona fide genius.
I was working on a flat tax proposal and I accidentally proved there's no God.
Apparently, he passed that on to kids too. All of them. Case in point, Bart crafts some pretty intricate pranks, and Maggie canonically has a higher IQ than Lisa. For all the trouble the Simpsons get into, it's clear that they're a whole lot wiser than they let on.
It's just that I used to be the smart one. Now I don't know who I am.
Number 28. Syndrome is Mr. Incredible's son, The Incredibles.
What the? Who are you supposed to be?
Well, I'm Incrediboy!
In a world with no shortage of superheroes, why does Buddy fixate on Mr. Incredible? Well, the answer may lie in their looks. Buddy and Bob Parr do have passing resemblance, especially in their jaw shape. Maybe unbeknownst to Mr. Incredible, their connection runs blood deep. While Bob is a family man nowadays, he and Helen were often stretched to their limits, pun fully intended. An affair or a one-night stand is not out of the realm of possibility. Plus, remember how Syndrome takes a surprisingly amount of interest in Mr. Incredible's family?
You married Elastigirl? And got busy! It's a whole family of supers!
Yeah, his actions practically scream red-headed stepchild. He's already got the red hair too.
Number 27. Phineas and Ferb don't exist. Phineas and Ferb.
Fair warning. After you hear this, you may not be able to see Phineas and Ferb the same way ever again. Still here? Good. Ever notice how Candace almost never busts her brothers?
See, Mom? I told you they weren't there.
Oh, hi, boys.
Hi, Mom.
Come on, Candace, help me with the groceries. Let's go.
Well, it's become such a running gag that many are starting to side with her parents. Maybe she's just imagining it all. The prevalent rumor is that Candace's brothers are a desperate ploy for attention that she conveniently shoves all her trauma onto. It sounds a bit odd, but keep in mind, this is a girl who semi-frequently hallucinates a talking zebra.
Love the beard, Kevin.
Compared to that, imagining two tech-savvy brothers is nothing.
Number 26. Ellie's infertility. Up.
As if the opening scene isn't heartbreaking enough, some eagle-eyed viewers discovered something that might make it even worse. On paper, Carl and Ellie meet, renovate their home, lose their baby, and that's that. However, using Carl's age as a ruler, it's safe to assume their house was constructed before people knew about the dangers of lead paint. The prolonged exposure from a renovation would probably cause lead poisoning. Occasionally, that can lead to infertility too. While there's no way of knowing if this is true for Ellie, it's the closest thing to an explanation Up offers. Either way, it explains why Carl takes so long to warm up to Russell.
Are you in need of
Thank
any
you, but I don't need any
assistance
help.
Ow.
Number 25. Avoiding the draft. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Here it is, gang. Rocky Point Beach.
What a groovy spot for a beach party.
These meddling kids never seem to settle down in one place for more than a single episode. They don't appear to be going anywhere in particular either. So why waste all that gas? Thankfully, this is a mystery you don't need a Scooby snack to solve. The long rumored answer lies in the political climate the series debuted in. See, the first iteration of Mystery Inc. hit screens in 1969, right at the height of the Vietnam War. The gang could have been avoiding the draft and had to keep moving to stay ahead of the authorities.
Well, maybe we can spend the night there. Yes, there.
It would also explain why there's so much crime in the world. Although, the monster costumes are still a mystery.
Number 24. Wile E. Coyote is in hell. Looney Tunes franchise.
Picture this. You're trapped in a desolate wasteland, constantly taunted with your wildest dreams, but they're always just out of reach. Oh, and all the while, an annoying pest keeps laughing at you when you fail. Doesn't sound too nice, does it? Well, that's been Wile E. Coyote's life for the better part of a century.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep.
Ever since his Looney debut, he's been humiliated, tormented, laughed at, and just about everything in between. All things considered, if this isn't some form of toon hell, we don't know what is. At this point, the only question remaining is what Wally did to deserve this.
Number 23. Peter Pan is a cold-blooded killer. Peter Pan.
Apparently, there's a very simple reason why kids don't grow up in Neverland. Peter kills them before they have a chance to.
Peter Pan? You don't say?
It's hard to believe, but the original novel, Peter and Wendy, heavily implies that Peter has had to put some of the Lost Boys 6 feet deep. Even though it's not overt, the implications alone is enough to turn the film adaptation into a straight-up horror film. After all, what was Peter planning to do with Wendy and the others once they grew up?
Michael! John! We're going home!
Thankfully, we never have to see. But still, this is enough to prove that Neverland is full of more than just faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Number 22. Mr. Krabs plans to use his daughter for Krabby Patties. SpongeBob SquarePants.
If there's one thing in the world Mr. Krabs loves more than anything else, it's money. So it's very suspicious that he puts up with Pearl's spending habits. Actually, it's weird that his daughter is a well in the first place. Throw in the fact that Pearl's mom is nowhere to be seen, and the theory starts to write itself.
There, Mr. Krabs. I'm sure there's another way.
That's it, boy!
Maybe, all this time, the secret to the Krabby Patty formula has been whale meat. Their carcasses leave enough behind to feed entire ecosystems. And in Mr. Krabs' case, he has a second serving ready to go whenever he runs out.
SpongeBob! They're on to us, Mr. Krabs!
Yeah, remind us to never eat at the Krusty Krab ever again.
Number 21. Allegory for substance use disorder. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Sleepy, happy, Doc. Dopey, sneezy, bashful, and grumpy. They're the 7 dwarves. But as it turns out, each of those emotions also represent a different stage of cocaine misuse and withdrawal.
There's dirty work afoot.
That's right. There's a lot of compelling evidence to suggest that Snow White is a thinly veiled analogy for drug use. It's not just with the dwarves either. Little things like the setting and character designs all lend credence to this idea. Heck, the main character's name is Snow White. Classic fairy tale or not, once you see the signs, you'll never be able to unsee them. As they say, one bad apple and all that.
Don't let the wish grow cold.
Oh, I feel strange.
Number 20. Economic depression. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
He wanted to scare us off so he could pick up the land cheap. And I'd have done it too, if you kids hadn't come along.
Perhaps it wasn't just the monsters that Mystery Incorporated had to be afraid of. According to one theory, the original Scooby-Doo series was actually set during a time when the economy had gone bust. Things were so dire that even well-known individuals like celebrities, intellectuals, and so forth became criminals to survive the desperate financial climate, all while dressing up as creatures so that the blame wouldn't be put on them.
Does this seaweed help remind you of that picture on Widow Cutler's wall?
Captain Cutler!
It might sound like a stretch, but gotta admit, there were a lot of abandoned buildings and downtrodden areas on that show. Signs of the times?
Well, the tracks clearly lead into that old mill.
Number 19. Claw is Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget.
This fan theory is a shot to the heart of this lighthearted cartoon about everyone's favorite robotic detective. The theory in question states that Dr. Claw is actually the real, or at least the original Inspector Gadget, who supposedly died via an explosion. His genius niece Penny then created a robotic replica out of grief.
It's time to throw in the sponge.
This would explain why Claw pretty much always escapes from the villain's clutches unscathed.
These robots are useless. They're weak and feeble like you.
He wouldn't want to actually harm his own niece and only wants to destroy his mechanical replacement. It also explains why we never actually see Dr. Claw's face.
My plan was foolproof, but not gadget-proof.
Number 18. Bill Daughterreeve is Bobby Hill's father. king of the hill.
Do you take Luann to be your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, to love and to cherish till death do you part?
That sounds like a yes to me.
All right.
It's fair to say that not all children turn out like their parents, whether it's in appearance or personality. But when it comes to Hank and Bobby, the difference is like night and day. Along with how dissimilar they are, fans of the show have pointed out that there are hints that Bill might actually be Bobby's biological father.
My dad didn't buy me a car when I turned 16. He sold me one, and it was a lemon. Taught me the value of $1.
My dad never sold me anything.
You've got the physical likeness and the fact that the two spend so much time together bonding. Not to mention the little fact that Hank has a rather narrow urethra, which the Hills were originally told meant they could never have children. Damn, Hank, you may be the king, but from the sounds of it, someone got with your queen.
Although I suspected as much when it took you 30 minutes to produce a urine sample.
Hey, you want it done quick or you want it done right?
Hank, please calm down.
Number 17, the Flintstones live in the future. The Flintstones.
Hey, Wilma, isn't this fun?
It would be if you'd stop choking me.
If you thought Bedrock's favorite family was kicking it back in the Stone Age, then this theory will make you think again. Evidence for this one comes from the 1978 TV movie The Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, where a malfunctioning with a time machine leads two of the animation's most beloved families to share the screen.
I think Daddy's got a new favorite now, Mom. Playing horsey bat.
How does this support the theory? Well, the time machine was created by Elroy Jetson to bring his family to the future. That is, further in time than the future in which they already live. But what if the time machine actually worked?
They're out of the past, all right. Some kind of crazy flying nuts.
We know the Jetsons live in the sky, and perhaps they're doing that to avoid the nuclear wasteland below that's been brewing into another Stone Age.
Maybe we've gone so far into the future, the time has started all over again.
I wonder if they know any other words.
That means the Flintstones is actually set in a post-apocalyptic future instead of thousands of years in the past. Number 16, Nazi propaganda, Tom and Jerry franchise. You know the drill. Tom the cat tries his best to take out his mousy nemesis Jerry with all manner of nefarious and ill-conceived ideas. But were you aware that these two are the physical representation of countries? That's right. Someone out there posted a theory that states Tom and Jerry represents Tommies and Jerrys, aka the British and the Germans, during the early years of World War II. So if you put that into context, we've been watching Nazi German outdo the Brits with their superior intelligence all these years. Creepy. Number 15, Peach Creek is Purgatory, Ed, Edd, and Eddy.
Try to contain yourself, Eddie. The adrenaline of irreverence can be quite overwhelming.
Did you ever wonder why we never saw Ed, Edd, and Eddy's parents and why they were perpetually stuck in the cul-de-sac? Well, this theory says it's because they're all stuck in purgatory.
I was asked to mend the curtains by Mother. Every child should start their day by completing the tasks set upon them by their parents.
No, we are not kidding. Each character apparently died as a child at different points in time and now remains confined to the suburban afterlife. For example, Rolf spends most of his time with farm animals because he died in 1903.
Why do I condone such behavior?
Eddie is so obsessed with money and wealth because he died during the Great Depression, and Ed loves comic books so much because he died right as their popularity soared, near the end of the Second World War.
There is no X, Ed!
Number 14, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, Donald Duck franchise. It's no secret that Donald doesn't exactly have the best temperament, and that he goes on the odd rant every now and again. While most of us just find it funny and associated with his character, some have claimed that his escalating rage is a result of his PTSD. How did he get such a thing? Well, as a Second World War paratrooper, poor old Donald was used for plenty of military propaganda back in the day, with one cartoon showing him fighting against the Japanese by himself. That's bound to drive anyone over the edge. Number 13, Charlie Brown is dying of cancer, Peanuts franchise. You thought Charlie Brown was just an unlucky kid who happened to have a receding hairline? Actually, according to this theory, he's got terminal cancer.
Would you like to buy a nice Christmas wreath?
Merry Christmas anyway, sir. God bless us, everyone.
Not horrifically dark enough for you? The reason he always seems so down and life doesn't seem to give him a break is that his adventures and entire life are all an illusion. In other words, nothing but a dream created out of sadness for his brief existence.
I just can't seem to do anything right.
Each of his failures is just his own misery manifesting itself. Try to watch any Charlie special now without feeling hollow inside.
I think I need help. Everything I do turns to failure.
Number 12, Shared Universe, Samurai Jack. Crossovers are nothing new, and if fans even get a whiff that some of their favorite cartoons are entangled in some subtle or overt way, you can be sure they'll find evidence of it. Given the history of Cartoon Network's properties making random cameos between shows, it's no surprise people latched onto this particular theory, which is that apparently everyone's favorite time-traveling samurai was roaming around the post-apocalyptic but past version of Townville this whole time. Given the identical landmarks seen through some episodes, the idea certainly has some merits. Meanwhile, there are others who insist that Jack and Professor Utonium are the same person.
You just let your Professor Wessie take care of this.
Ah man, time travel makes our heads spin. Number 11, Wally Doomed the Earth, Wally. Wally is a lovesick robot that travels the stars to be with the one he loves and has a voice that just makes you want to pinch his metallic cheeks. Well, what you didn't know about him is that this little guy actually doomed the planet. Didn't you wonder why the planet was covered in garbage at the beginning of the Pixar flick? That's because, according to this theory, Wally destroyed all of the other robots, took what he needed from their bodies to fix himself up, kept certain items of trash to decorate his home instead of compacting them, and left the robo-corpses of his fellow brethren scattered across the wasteland that was once Earth. Thanks, Wally. Number 10, Mr. Crocker's Ulterior Motives, The Fairly Odd Parents. Brace yourself, people, because this one is bleak.
Can we please let people go to sleep now?
Some fans theorize that Cosmo and Wanda could actually just be metaphors for antidepressants. Well, this theory takes things a step further by stating that they are delusions of Timmy Turner's actual deceased godparents.
We're his closest friends.
He imagines them watching over him and granting his wishes, all in a bid to keep himself happy, since his real parents don't care about him. He has one heck of a volatile babysitter, and Mr. Crocker's scheme to capture his fairy godparents is in reality just him making sexual advances on Timmy. Yeesh.
I already paid $400 to rent this ice cream truck and this stupid costume.
Number 9, Winnie and Friends' Mental Disorders, Winnie the Pooh franchise. The classic tales of Pooh Bear and his friends are beloved by children and adults everywhere. This makes things especially lovely considering this theory in which the timeless characters have each been diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder. We are not joking. It goes like this. Pooh is impulsive with obsessive fixations.
So Pooh ate and ate and ate.
Piglet has general anxiety.
Do the bees know the plan?
Tigger has ADHD.
Why? That's what Tiggers do best.
Owl is dyslexic. Rabbit has OCD. And not surprisingly, Eeyore is a major depressive. We could have seen the Eeyore one coming, but does this maybe mean Christopher Robin is their therapist? Number 8, Pinky is the genius, Pinky and the Brain.
Just one question, though.
Yes, Pinky?
Where are we going to get all those harmonicas?
How can one of cartoon's most lovable idiots possibly be smarter than the megalomaniac mouse who dreams of taking over the world? Well, what if the brain is so local in the head that all his thoughts of world domination are the result of madness?
We shall found a nation, and that nation shall be called Brainania.
The pair's endeavors could be nothing more than delusions in his oversized head. But even if they aren't, you only need to look a little more closely to see that more often than not, it's Pinky's observation and comments that make the most logical sense compared to the brain's rambling. One is a genius, the other's insane. But which is which?
I have obtained this rare prototype dilithium matrix chip.
Yummy! Does that go with onion dip?
If it did, Pinky, your dippy brains would be the perfect accompaniment.
Number 7, the Pokemon War, Pokemon.
Pikachu, Thunder Shock!
For an anime about fighting pocket monsters, there doesn't really seem to be any horrifically mature content in Pokemon, at least as far as the original season is concerned. Or is there? According to this theory, the amount of gym leaders and organized crime plus the fact that Ash and Gary are both missing parents is because they are our generation born after a terrible war fought with Pokemon.
You think you can play with the big boys? I'll send you home crying. Golem, go!
While this creepypasta may seem more concrete with the video games, it does raise some interesting points. Where is Ash's dad anyway?
Mom, you're embarrassing me in front of all these people. Don't you know I'm a big kid now?
Number 6, Timmy's on antidepressant, The Fairly Odd Parents.
I don't see a smiling face. There it is!
Nope, we're not done with The Fairly Odd Parents just yet. While you may have thought that Timmy Turner was a lucky little boy with fairy godparents that could grant his every wish,
Hello, Timmy. Shall we go for a ride?
What you were actually seeing was a metaphor for Timmy taking antidepressant to ensure he made it through the day. How does this make sense? Well, this theory states that this scenario is possible because the godparents only appear when Timmy's life starts to take a tumble, but they aren't around when he doesn't need them.
Little freedom fighter.
We'll get you out of here.
On top of this, too much of their magic is shown to have disastrous results on Timmy's personality.
Go to your room and don't come out until you learn responsibility for other people's property.
Number 5, Comatose Ash, Pokemon franchise.
And I hereby declare to the Pokemon of the world, I will be a Pokemon master.
A lot of entries on this list involve the fantastical elements of their respective shows being nothing more than figments of their imagination.
Pokeball, go! I did it!
Well, this one deals with an entire world being made up in the mind of a comatose Ash Ketchum.
You really saved us, Ash. No way. We did it together.
One theorist makes the point that the tone of Pokemon became much lighter after Ash was struck by lightning in an earlier episode. Ever since then, Team Rocket became less menacing and the 10-year-old can somehow traverse freely in the world without consequence. The fact that there are multiple Nurse Joys and Officer Jennies, plus countless other examples, seems to support the idea that his dream to become a Pokemon master may actually just be a dream after all. Number 4, The 7 Deadly Sins, SpongeBob SquarePants.
You know, do some detective work.
Detective work. I'm going undercover.
Who would have guessed that Bikini Bottom's most iconic residence would actually represent something as dark as the 7 sins? It's not all that crazy when you think about it. SpongeBob has a lust for life, while Pearl is obsessed with males. Mr. Krabs is the greediest thing under the sea. Sandy takes great pride in her work. Patrick besses everyone when it comes to sloth. Both Gary and Mrs. Puff have been shown to be quite gluttonous. Plankton is obviously envious of the Krusty Krab's success. And Squidward, well, we all know how wrathful SpongeBob makes him. Turns out this show attracts weird theories, since there's another one that suggests these 7 represent narcotics.
All right, pal. Make with a relaxing foot massage pronto.
Sorry, your hour's up.
Number 3, all in Angelica's imagination, Rugrats.
I'm just gonna say it, Drew. She's the most beautiful little girl I've ever seen.
No question about it, little brother.
In this fan theory, it turns out all those adorable babies on Rugrats were nothing more than projections of a 3-year-old psychological breakdown. We all thought Angelica was just moody because of her age and spoiled upbringing, but here, it's said that her attitude is actually due to the traumatic events of the Rugrats' death.
Yeah, when it happens to you guys, maybe that's what you should do. Happens to us!
Yep. Apparently, Chucky died with his mother in a crash, which is why his father is always overly worried about him. And Tommy was stillborn, which is why Uncle Stu is constantly making toys, i.e. for the son he never had.
Could be.
As for the DeVille twins, they were just a projection of an aborted baby, so Angelica projected them as identical twins since the gender remained unknown. Number 2, there are no monsters, Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Return the slide.
What's your offer?
Despite his timid nature in the face of the supernatural horrors going on in the middle of nowhere, Courage never fails to protect his owners from the many monsters and psychopaths that seem to come their way. This would be all fine and dandy, except what if they're not all as scary as he thinks they are?
Booga booga booga!
Given that he's just a dog and the world probably looks a lot different to him, the entire show could be nothing more than Courage's canine perception, tricking him into thinking he and his humans are in danger, when the truth is all those monsters he thinks he's seeing are just people. But to be honest, we're not sure if that's uplifting or even more depressing.
The show don't go on for hours, but I can get you in real quick like.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Allegory for the Holocaust, Toy Story 3.
What? You want your mommy back? She never loved you. Don't be such a baby!
There was no doubt that the third installment of the Toy Story franchise was definitely the darkest. However, we bet that you wouldn't have guessed that the Oscar-winning computer animated movie also seems to have some unsettling parallels to the Holocaust.
Yeah, I know, it looks bad, but guys, you gotta believe me.
First off, the toys are forced to leave their home and then find themselves at Sunnyside Daycare, where they are imprisoned and routinely mistreated and injured.
My tail! Where's my tail?
Near the film's climax, there is a scene that looks like they're all about to perish in an incinerator together. If you replace a few of those key characters and locations with some of the victims and perpetrators of World War II, there's definitely a disturbing similarity.
But if you break our rules, step out of line, try to check out early, well, you're just hurting yourself.
Did any of these theories change how you look at things? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Watch Mojo videos.
This is the reward we get for all our hard work.